There's a lot of good wool weapons out there in Nazi Zombies, but which 5 stand out above the rest? Let's take a look. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. In this video we're going to be counting down the top 5 best wool weapons in World at War, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 Zombies. Now I'm not going to be taking into account any pack-a-punched versions, it's just going to be how they are when you buy them off the wall. And also for the weapons from Black Ops 2, I'm going to be assessing how they are when you have Double Tap 2.0. So with that clarified, let's move on to the list. And coming in at number 5, we have the SVU from Black Ops 2. Now the SVU is a semi-automatic sniper rifle which is available off the wall on Die Rise and Buried. It costs 1,000 points, so it's, it's quite cheap. And on Buried, of course, you just draw it on the wall. You can place it in, excuse me, you can draw it on the wall in one location out of a potential 5. So that's really cool about, the wall weapons on Buried. Now the SVU is just, it's a headshot beast. If you just aim for the head with this, get Double Tap 2.0, aim for the head, and you can't really go wrong. As you see in this clip here, look, the zombies run around the corner, and their heads are just getting pinged off their bodies. Well, except that one there, but most of them just lose their heads. It's such an amazing weapon to use, and of course with it being semi-automatic as well, it's really useful in zombies because you can just spam the trigger and the zombies all just line up and you can just ping headshots left, right and centre. You get loads of collateral damage as well, especially if you're in a camping spot such as the Juggernaut camping spot on Buried, where it's quite a thin sort of like pathway and the zombies all run behind each other, and you can obviously just get loads of headshots after headshots, and it's just really powerful sniper rifle. Reload speed is okay too. You get 12 bullets per magazine, which is plenty. It's overall just such a solid weapon, and I'm so happy that they put this as a wool weapon. Of course, it's not available on Transit or Origins or Mob of the Dead. It's only available on Die Rise and Buried, which is a shame. I was hoping they would probably bring it back into Origins, but they didn't. But it's really fun to use. Really solid weapon. Great for headshots, and I thought it's got to come in on the list. So it comes in at the number 5 spot. Moving on to number 4, we have the Trench Gun from World at War. Now the Trench Gun is, it's a pump action shotgun available to be bought off the wall for 1,500 points. The great thing about the Trench Gun is it's one of those guns that you feel like that you're just ripping into the zombies. You get some weapons out there like, I don't know, like the Barrett or something shit like that. And when you shoot a zombie with the Barrett, you don't really feel as if you're doing much damage to them, if that makes sense. But with the Trench Gun, it just you blow off their arms, you shoot off their head, they just get absolutely demolished. The guts go flying everywhere. That's a really important feature, which I think that it comes when I make these lists. I always sort of base them, not obviously purely, but a big factor is how they feel when you're using them. And with a Trench Gun, you feel as if you're just ripping into the zombies. You're doing loads of damage to them, and the Trench Gun is probably one of the best weapons out there for that specific feature. It got 6 bullets per magazine, which is quite a lot for a shotgun. It's the best shotgun from World at War. I know it's not got much competition with it being one of only 3 potential shotguns, but the Trench Gun is available to be bought off the wall on all 4 maps: Naxxramas Toten, Varuk, Shinonuma and Der Riese. So it's really easy to get your hands on the Trench Gun. It's also available in a mystery box as well. If you want to get your hands on the Trench Gun, then 9 times out of 10 you'll have no problem with it. But it's just really fun to use. The only drawback maybe you could say is with it being pump action shotgun, you're sort of you don't have to, but I recommend that you buy Double Tap 1.0. Obviously it increases your fire rate, and on World at War, Double Tap 1.0 it only works for some guns. So the Trench Gun, obviously, as I just said, the HK21 from Black Ops 1, that's another weapon which you kind of need Double Tap 2.0. And obviously once you buy Double Tap 1.0, you can't lose it unless you go down. Obviously if you're playing solo play, then you're sort of stuck with it. So you know, it's one of those things which, do you risk getting it? But I mean, apart from that, there's nothing wrong with a trench gun. Solid weapon, really powerful. And yeah, as I said, I love the way it feels. The reload speed is quite slow though. You know, only puts in sort of 1 bullet at a time, but that's a similar trait within the shotguns, you know, like the Remington from Black Ops 2, the Sparks 12 from Black Ops 1, you know, etc. So, you know, but the trench gun, we all love it. Fantastic weapon. It's beautiful. So it comes in at the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3, we have the PDW from Black Ops 2. Now the PDW is just like the SVU in terms of the maps that it's on. So it's available on Die Rise for 1000 points, and you can also get it on Buried by drawing it on the wall. And now the SVU, the PDW is a submachine gun, fully automatic, 50 bullets per magazine. So you get plenty of ammo per magazine, and you get 200 shots in the reserve ammo. So you get 250 shots in total. Now it may sound like a lot, but with the magazine sizes being 50 bullets, you sort of burn through ammo because you're shooting a lot of bullets really quickly. Now this, like if you have the Thompson, for example, from World at War, that's got 220 shots in total, but it always seems to last longer because you've got to reload more often. But with the PDW, see in this clip, I'm basically shooting 50 bullets per magazine, so it seems like that that it's not got much ammo, but it's kind of deceiving because it has got a lot of ammo, and it's a really fun weapon to use. Fully automatic, as I said, it's lightweight, it's mobile, it's got a good reload speed. Headshot multiplier is quite good as well. But I think when you're using it, you sort of have to sort of camp nearby where the wall by is. So see where I'm camping now. If you are using the PDW, then I sort of recommend you sort of hang around in this sort of area, in this building, because you are going to be buying ammo quite a bit, which is quite a big drawback for this weapon. But I mean, apart from that, it's got, you know, a good rate of fire. It's not too fast, not too slow. It's quite accurate as well. As I said, it only costs 1000 points, so it's quite cheap, especially for a submachine gun. But it's a pretty solid, all-around solid weapon, and I think it's got to come in on this list. So it comes in at the number 3 spot. Moving on to number 2, we have the Lsat from Black Ops 2. Now the Lsat is an LMG, a light machine gun, which is only available on one map, and that map is of course Buried. Now the Lsat costs 2000 points to buy. It's, you know, quite expensive, but it's worth every single penny. This thing is a fucking beast. You get 100 bullets per magazine, with it being obviously an LMG, and you get 400 in the reserve ammo, so you get 500 shots in total. And you know, it's got beautiful damage, it's got barely any recoil, the headshot multiplier is fantastic. Obviously the reload speed is quite slow, being an LMG, but obviously it's just how LMGs are. You know, most of them take a long time to reload, so you do really need to buy speed cola if you're using this weapon. Of course, with it being an LMG as well, the mobility isn't great. It's definitely a camping gun. You can't really run around. I mean, I suppose you can run around a bit. As you see, I'm running around in this clip, but once you get sort of in the later rounds, you don't really want to be running around with an Lsat in your hand, because obviously it's heavy. Even with stamina up, it's quite dodgy. You're better off just camping in a corner, or you know, in a room, whatever, and just sort of aiming down sights and just spraying all your bullets from the Lsat, because it's definitely a camping weapon. Now the thing with the Lsat is you can't really buy ammo for it unless you get the paralyzer or the petrifier, whatever you want to call it, because it's in such a weird spot. It's in like the first room of Buried, and it's like you can only buy it off the wall, and then obviously you fall down and go down the slope, and you can't buy ammo for it unless you use the paralyzer to like fling yourself back up, which is one of 2 reasons why it came in at number 2 and not number 1. If the Lsat was just like on the wall like every other normal weapon, the Lsat probably would have came in at number 1, but the fact that you can't buy ammo for it off the wall unless you have the wonder weapon from Buried, it's just a pain in the ass. You know, it put me off buying it a lot of the times. When I do buy it, I always camp with it. It's my preferred weapon of camping, but obviously buying ammo for it is an issue, so you have to really rely on max ammos when using the Lsat. But yeah, I mean, as I said, it's heavy, so you can't run with it, and you can't buy ammo for it, which is the two drawbacks to the Lsat. Reload speed, again, quite an issue, but it makes up with that by its high ammo capacity, you know, high damage, great headshot multiplier, and it's just fun to use as well. So Lsat, it's a beast, and it comes in at the number 2 spot. And moving on to the number 1 spot for the best wool weapon in Nazi Zombies history, we have the AN-94. Now, I'm sure you all knew this is going to be the best wool weapon, because I have previously explained in a video why the AN-94 comes in at number 1. You know, it's incredible. It is absolutely incredible. You get 30 bullets per magazine with 300 in the reserve ammo, so that's 330, which is loads of ammo for an assault rifle. Reload speed is, you know, is pretty good too, even without Speakola. It's got a swift reload speed. Now the rate of fire, you could argue, is a bit slow, but I mean, it's not really bad though, is it? It's accurate with it being a slightly slower rate of fire. The A94 is a lot more accurate, which means that, you know, it's easier to get, you know, the headshots, which is what this gun thrives off. The headshot multiplier on the A94 is just fantastic. You know, it is just all around an excellent weapon. It costs 1,200 points, and you can buy it off the wall on Die Rise, and again, you can chalk it on the wall on Buried. I mean, Buried really has all of the best wool weapons. I mean, on Black Ops 2, you know, all the Black Ops 2 weapons off this list, the SVU, PDW, Lsat, AN94, they're all available on Buried, which is why Buried is one of my favourite maps of all time. I love it. I love the wool weapons on Buried. But the A94, I said, 1,200 points off the wall, ammo costs 600 points, and it's just a bargain. It is an absolute bargain to buy this weapon. I'm surprised that they didn't do like an update shortly after they released the Zombies map and make it, you know, a bit more expensive, because, you know, I just feel like it should be the A94 should be priced at, like, I'd say 2,000, maybe 2,000, just over 2,000, I'd say, because you're making money back, you know, pretty quickly, with it being, you know, a fully automatic assault rifle. And I feel a bit guilty when I buy it, because I'm thinking, you know, like, you're giving me this fantastic weapon for only 1,200 points. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? But seriously though, A94, it's a cracking weapon, fantastic. You know, we all think it's amazing, and if you don't think it's amazing, then, you know, you clearly don't know much about zombies, because A94, all around, just perfect weapon. So it's got to come in, it has to come in at the number 1 spot. Now, we do have one weapon on the honorable mentions list, and that goes to the Galvanicals from Black Ops 2. Now, the Galvanicals are a melee weapon which costs 6,000 points to buy. Now, the Galvanicals are available on Transit, Die Rise, Buried, Town, and Farm. So they are available on 5 maps. And the reason why they didn't make the list is because they're only useful up until round 13. Now, what I mean by this is they are, you know, they're 1 stab kill or 1 hit kill, whatever you want to call it, up until round 13, and once it hits round 14, they then become a 2 stab to kill a zombie. Now, technically, you could still use it on round 14, but realistically, you're not going to stand there and hit every single zombie twice to you know, finish the round. You're just not going to do that. You're going to use your gun. So they're only really useful up until round 13. They cost 6,000 points to buy off the wall, as I said, and, you know, they're a one-time buy. So once you buy it, that's it. Then, you know, it's yours. You don't need to keep going back and buying ammo or anything stupid like that. They're yours to keep, unless of course you fully die. Then obviously you spawn in again with a pistol, and then, you know, whatever. But it's like I said, like, up until around 13, they're 1 stab. They are reliable to use. You know, you can use it. They're great for getting points. Get 130 per kill and 260 when it's double points. But once it hits round 14, you sort of stop using them, and then you go back to, like, using your gun like you would normally. So that's the reason why it didn't make the list, because I just think that they are really good up until a certain round, whereas you get, you know, some weapons which they're good, and you can carry on using them later on in the round. But like Galvanicals, the only time you'd use the Galvanicals after round 13 is sort of when you're trapped in a corner and you need to reload, and you got like 3 zombies around you. You'd hit them a few times with the Galvanicals to try and get yourself out of it. That's the only time where you'd use the Galvanicals past round 14. So they're partially good, if that makes sense. But still, before round 13, these things are just incredible. I would seriously recommend buying them. Always buy them over the bow knife. The bow knife you don't need to buy really on Black Ops 2. Always go with the Galvanicals. They are the best melee weapon out there by quite some distance. So I'm not saying that they're bad, I'm just saying that they aren't as effective up until past round 13. So that's why they come in at the honorable mentions list. So thank you for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe if you did enjoy, and make sure that you hit that like button as well. It is of course always greatly appreciated. And leave your thoughts down below in the comments section of what your top 5 best wall weapons are to use in Nights of Zombies. Also, just lastly, I have done an entire playlist based on my different top 5 zombies list, so please make sure that you check them out as well. So thank you again for watching, and I will be back soon with another video. Goodbye.